I think the entire idea behind Prop AI started from our own pain point. The reality is I wanted to invest in real estate. Me and my husband had the money. We wanted to put the money there, but we never got the comfort. We talked to a lot of agents on the market, and we really didn't get the confidence, and it always felt like a gut feeling rather than anything else.
So actually, why I joined PropAI in the interview, why I accepted the offer, I really loved your personality, and I'm not saying this because you're the CEO or whatever. You know me enough to know
Definitely do this more often.
that I'm not this type of person as, say, Aurelius. I don't have a standard personality. What I liked was your conviction, your energy, and it was as well the fact that you were a woman that was trying to be in a tech world.
Being able to leverage the platform, things like this. And then also the fact that we do have a tight-knit team, which I understand very quickly, is completely different again. Typically in real estate in Dubai, there's a lot of competition, things like this. You don't really have a team that you can rely on, and you don't have the same feedback loop to actually improve the platform, things like this. So for me, I understood from the interview, I'm going into something completely different to what I'm used to. And that's what really excited me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Melanie Krotiger from PropAI, and today we're hosting a PropAI podcast with Kaiser, the PropAI advisor, Aurelius, PropAI advisor, and our CEO and co-founder of PropAI, Ranime El-Skaf. Welcome, Ranime.
Thank you, guys. This is quite a change of scenery for all of us. I'm used to just sitting across desks from you, not really on a chair chit-chatting.
So, Ranime, in order for people to start knowing us better in terms of what we do, how PropAI idea came, and tell a bit more about how this amazing idea came.
Sure. I think the entire idea behind Prop AI started from our own pain point. The reality is I wanted to invest in real estate. Me and my husband had the money. We wanted to put the money there, but we never got the comfort. We talked to a lot of agents on the market, and we really didn't get the confidence, and it always felt like a gut feeling rather than anything else. And we come from an analytical background. We've done a lot of these business models and a lot of these Excel sheets, and when I tried to do it, the data was not there. I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel like I have access to what I need to do that jump. So Chris, my co-founder, and I got together and we started talking about how we can fix that. We do realize that there were good agents in the market, but at the same time, we didn't feel like the conversation was flowing or we were getting what we were getting from them. So we started building it with the idea of starting everything from data and getting as much data in. We thought it was going to be simple, in all fairness. So we started by putting these things on Excel and looking into it. We realized that there's more than 3 billion data points to be, and then there's a lot of enrichment. There's a lot of data that is not just as good or clean. So we went through the entire process of doing that. And then the next step was for people to have these tools. Not everyone or not every agent in the market is able to digest these tools. So we wanted to build the proper team, the right team that is able to build on top of what we have already created. And this is why we have you guys.
Thank you very much. So this is the story behind PropAI. Next chapter.
Yeah, that definitely is how it goes in the office usually. There's always like breaks and you're like, next chapter.
And okay, when you started to look for a team, who was the first person that we hired? You hired? Because I know the answer, but I want our audience to know
I think there's a lot of, I don't know,
stories.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of, I think, funnily enough, our first, the first people who joined the team were less so on the advisor side, but more so when we were still building. But in terms of, so I think in terms when we started looking into someone to take this to the market, to use this, I believe that we conducted almost more than 20, 30 interviews. And I don't know, AJ, whether you remember the first day you walked into the office.
Yes, I do.
I'm actually curious to know what was your perspective, but from my side, I remember we had seen so many, and then it was the team who was actually doing the interviews, and in the middle of them talking to AJ, I saw AJ come in. He went and sat there, and then in the middle of them talking to AJ, I receive a text message, and it says, "I think you should come and meet this guy." Really? And I remember I walked in. And I sat there and I asked 3-4 questions. And by the end of it, and I literally was like, "Oh, what do you think about joining us?" Because, well, maybe I want to hear your perspective. Because I know you were working with like a bunch of.
I thought this was the process.
Not really.
But what was your perspective when you
came-
entered the office and you saw it was the process?
Yeah.
It was a startup office also. Or we still are a
startup office. It was. I came and I saw like the office for, I don't know, 100 people, and it was almost completely empty.
That's so true.
There were like maybe 10 people. Some people were packing to move out. Then I was just sitting waiting for my time, and we had an interview. And I don't know, it felt exactly like every single time, because when I came to Dubai, I had 17 interviews
Oh, wow.
lined up for myself.
Okay.
I went to every single them, and all of them offered me job.
Here you
this
go.
is-
Yeah.
So this is like the standard procedure for me.
Because you're likable,
No,
AJ.
Wow. So, okay, then what made you pick Prop AI?
So I was in between the company. I actually agreed to work with another company, and then Beth called me, invited me for an interview. I was second day in the office, but we still didn't sign
Yeah.
like Emirates ID and everything. I had the offer letter, and I was sitting in the office. Somebody's calling me, and yeah, we spoke. I went to a parking lot to talk about it. If this is the right opportunity, then Beth invited me, and I was thinking, okay, let's try once more, because I'm not feeling 100% here.
Okay.
It might be a good option. It might not. So let's see. So we had an interview, and then after the interview, I was very confused, because at the same day, the other company offered me sales manager position.
Okay.
So it's not, I had to lead the team.
Okay.
And I was, it was a very hard decision for me. But then I was thinking about my own goals, and I decided that sales manager is not the right time
Okay.
for me at that time,
Okay.
because I wanted to build a little bit more of myself, do more transactions, grow more as personal brand and advisor. So I decided to go with Prop AI.
Here you go. So he was 1 out of the 30 interviews, and we were 1 out of 17 job offers. That's a good fit, I would say. No, for me, like I think because we were very analytical and we're very data driven, I think the conversation with AJ was clear from the beginning that we kind of shared the same mindset. We've had a lot of these conversations where people were like, "Oh yeah, no, we talk, we call, and all of these things," and I think it was very important for us that at least the first person to come and start taking Prop AI to the world was someone who understood our core values and what we are, where we're starting from, and how are we different from the market. And I actually thought from that 10-minute conversation where he was very quiet that he actually understood.
And now I remember I was very confused at some time, because the questions that were asked were so basic. And now when I'm looking backwards, now I understand that it's not that basic, probably for
For a lot of
For
other people.
market.
Yeah. Fair. And then Melanie came to exist. I think Melanie
Yes.
was like a referral.
yeah. I referred to Melanie.
Why?
Why? Because
I was very surprised of your call.
I called you.
I remember the call.
I called you for some property that I was looking for, and then we just spoke that you think to change the company, and I said, let me think, let me see what we can do, because I think you're a great professional. You're a
Thank
very
you.
non-standard personality, but at
Definitely
the
not.
same time, you're very good at what you do.
I have to say, I do think that we are a bunch of misfits. I think really we all have very strong personalities, very different personalities, and it's quite nice because while we're very different, we kind of gel very well together. And I think that was part of what the culture we're trying to build. But yeah, Melanie, I do remember also when you came into the office and you didn't remember the name of everyone or anyone for that matter.
Yeah, and the interesting
I
story
agree.
with Melanie that we started at the same time in another company, and now it's just going
We
along.
started at the same time in another company, and we continue at the same time in the next company.
That's great. Actually, it is your 2-year anniversary coming up next month.
Yeah.
Yes. So actually, why I joined ProPI in the interview, why I accepted the offer, I remember that she called me, and but actually, I will be very transparent with you, Ranim. I clicked with you. Well, in the interview, I met Beth. I met other people, of course, and I clicked with Beth. But you as CEO, I clicked with you. I really loved your personality, and I'm not saying this because you're the CEO or whatever. You know me enough to know
Definitely do this more often.
that I'm not this type of person as, say, Aurelius. I don't have a standard personality. What I liked was your conviction, your energy, and it was as well the fact that you were a woman that was trying to be in a tech world. And I really liked the overall together and make me motivated that, let's say, I was in a traditional company and I liked the vision and I liked that we were trying to build something. And I like the fact to be part of a team that we are building something that then it's and the adaptation. And I remember one of your questions was relating to adaptation. And I said, yes, the difference between people who succeed and people who not are the ones who adapt themselves. And it really suits my personality. And the fact that we had this a bit futuristic vision of already real estate, including numbers, including data, platform, and trying to do all this thing together, for me, it was very exciting. And I think it's one of the reasons why Aurelius as well
Yeah.
accepted, because we joined for a main vision.
I
And
wanted-
every day, as you say, it's not easy because it's a lot of work. And we face, of course, like all startup struggles. But I think because I never mentioned to you guys, we are 4 people here, but there is a full data team on the back. But I call them the smart people. Because I'm not included in this. Actually, we are the main faces of ProPI and Chris, our other co-founder, and Ranim, and then the advisors. But there is behind the scenes a full team, amazing team that we don't see them, but they have
But they exist.
they exist and they have one of the biggest values in the company. So Kaiser.
No, Kaiser is our last joiner on the team, or Himanshu?
Second last joiner,
Second
technically,
last
I
joiner.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kaiser.
So, but Kaiser definitely came after. So in all fairness, in all transparency, it is a startup, and at the beginning, and that is why I think I'm proud of 2 things. One is we have an amazing ability of staying together. I think startups have very high turnover, and people come in and go. And on the real estate in specific, that's even higher. I think the fact that we stuck together because I'm very appreciative of the fact that you guys understand the vision, believe in the vision, and work together. And that makes me very, very, very proud. But I also think because we have picked the right people, and your experience coming in was definitely different than your experience, because when they came in, the product was very, very, very primitive. And then by the time it's not like we haven't moved a lot from when you came in, but it was a lot more, let's say, developed. But then also you guys on a daily basis contribute significantly into the product. So what I love about it is this ability between our tech and data team and our advisors, that there's always this back and forth that
We just try to translate what tech people think
And
is
sometimes I
real
try to
life.
understand what they're asking me.
but you guys need to understand that is very difficult, because I don't come from, like, I come from some sort of real estate, but it's not the real estate that you guys do. So I didn't really understand. When we first developed something, we put it out there, we realized that it was not very helpful, because it came from my brain and Chris's brain, that is not you guys'
It's
brain.
not how it works.
It's not how it works. Like, it was so detailed. It was ridiculously like onto the nth level of things that were not needed, no? Or at least we were showing. Maybe the math was needed, but we did not need to show it for everyone to understand. And I think that is definitely. But I want to hear your perspective about having come in a little bit later. How did you integrate with the team, and what was your first impression?
For sure.
Into...
So to start off, I wasn't specifically looking for a job in Dubai. I mean, I didn't even live in Dubai at the time. I was here for holiday, and I got a call, and
LinkedIn is
liked what I heard. Sounded interesting. So to give perspective, I was in the UK doing real estate, and I didn't think that I would see myself back in Dubai, purely because my understanding of what real estate is very traditional. And that's what sparked my interest to then follow up with Prop AI. And so my perspective is definitely different to Aurelius and Mel's. But what really caught my interest is the fact that things are well and truly done completely differently here. Being able to leverage the platform, things like this. And then also the fact that we do have a tight-knit team, which I understand very quickly, is completely different again. Typically in real estate in Dubai, there's a lot of competition, things like this. You don't really have a team that you can rely on, and you don't have the same feedback loop to actually improve the platform, things like this. So for me, I understood from the interview, I'm going into something completely different to what I'm used to. And that's what really excited me as a baseline joining, yeah.
And something that I'm noticing as well, I'm not saying there is very, very good agents in Dubai, and I'm dealing with a lot of companies and with a lot of very good agents. But now, because we're talking about ourselves, one of the reasons that as well I really notice about our team, we're all very curious.
That's true. And I think this is actually one of the things that we screen for. This is part of the questions that we try to understand. You thought it was basic. It is definitely not basic, no? So, all right, maybe I'm going to make this statement that I think can be a little bit sensitive, but with how technology is changing, no, with how AI is playing a role on a daily basis, with how a lot of people are left without a job because they're not adapting, or because AI is coming to take over. The entire world is changing. No, people, like, so many things. Like, even if you look into whatever Google or all of these things, now you put your question and you barely go after what Gemini says. No, in a world like this, let's face it, we're not going to need as many brokers as the numbers of brokers that existed.
100%.
Sure.
I think
We never needed that.
That many in any case.
that is also a statement, but these people are making money, otherwise they won't stay as brokers. No, in Dubai
That's
alone,
not true.
It's not true.
That's not true.
really.
Yes.
Because in Dubai alone, there are 30,000 brokers, but that means that everyone is making half a deal a month,
There are
or an
30,
average, not everyone. An
there are 30,000
registered,
registered brokers.
Yeah.
There are roughly 70, 80,000 actually people that are working in the market
The space.
within the space.
Because they register themselves under their manager there.
Yeah. So but that's what I'm saying. I'm
And
saying,
then you cannot have half of the deal.
yeah.
You have either a full deal or none.
that again, that math again.
And most of the agents actually they are not doing the deals in the market. I don't have exact numbers, but from my experience with the bigger companies, at least half are not making enough to survive.
And that is painful, and that is even going to become more and more painful, because how I see tech is, if you think about the entire value chain and the amount of work that you guys currently do, AI and tech is coming to replace it bit by bit. But that doesn't mean I don't believe in a world where real estate agents are not going to be needed. They're going to be like the good ones, the ones that are curious, the ones that are know how to leverage tech, are going to be 10 times more productive than they are today. Because what will happen is a lot of the time that will take you to do the research, a lot of the time that will take you to qualify, to do and understand the intent, to get the market, is going to answer questions, is going to shrink significantly, and AI is going to take the majority of it. The last part, which is, there's always going to be, you spoke a lot about emotions and a lot of the conversations that you've had before. It is one of the biggest investment that a lot of people are doing in their lives, and I think the trust to switch completely to AI is not going to happen anytime soon. So agents are going to be needed, but good agents are going to be needed, and those are the guys that are going to survive. So instead of closing 3-4 deals a month, they're going to have time to close 15 deals a month.
This is one of the reasons why I joined PropAI.
Same.
Because I think that tech leverage is the key. That's the only thing that we can have. Tech and data leverage is what we can have to be more productive. Because there's a lot of work that is not productive, or it's even unproductive. Unproductive. So basically, actually, there's a lot of work that shouldn't be done at all, but it needs to be done, and it can be easily done by AI. Now it's done by some people and technology, but I expect it to be done more and more by AI, and even our team, which is like admin team, etc., they will be more productive.
Yeah.
If they stay curious and they learn, they can do much more value. They can create much more value in the same time.
Actually, agents, they all complain about a 24/7 time job. And definitely time is something that we lack. I could do so much more if I didn't had to sleep and to do my personal things. So I truly believe that AI, it's a tool that in the future, it will not make disappear it will not make agents disappear, the good ones, of course, but this is, I call it like, it's natural. All market, the good one stays, the bad ones goes.
But we're on an accelerated path for that to happen.
Yes, but it's part of the full world. It's not only real estate.
100%.
It will apply to doctors. It will apply to
lawyers.
insurances. It will apply to admins. It will apply to everyone. So we cannot go back. Even we don't agree, we need adaptivity. We need to adapt. And how I see AI is that I really see it as a tool. For example, now we have a question. As you said, we go on Gemini and we have the answer. Like, we have knowledge in our phones, the biggest knowledge. But for me, how I see AI as agents is to win time, means clients. I put everything I need and I get like what is the best following the profile. And this, instead of doing what I'm doing, because I lack time.
Yeah.
And the day this time issue, it will never be fixed 100%, but will be improved. My productivity, my successful results will double. And this is what I want.
There's another thing. The difference between good agents that are using technology, the agents that are not adapting to the market, will be even more different.
Yes.
More big, and the spread will be massive.
Yeah.
Because what makes the good agent is number of transactions that he's doing.
Results,
So he is, with each transaction, he gets additional information, he gets additional insights, additional questions, and every single interaction is improving the agent that is more productive.
It's called experience.
Yes.
Eternal.
Yes. And the ones that are not using the data, that are spending most of their days on the things that do not add value as an advisor or as a sales professional, let's say, it will be even worse. The spread will be so different, so massive that it will just disappear. The ones that are not doing.
You were doing you had experience in the UK. What is the difference for you? You see it now in between Dubai and the UK and real estate, and I actually get this question a lot, and I'm curious to hear from you guys. Because the tech that we are developing today in Dubai does not exist in the world, sitting between
Correct.
data decision and deal, putting all these three together does not exist in the world. And I was in Silicon Valley the other day, and they were like, why don't we have this in the US? And I'm like, well, because, we come in a market that is the most active market around the world. This is what Dubai is today. Number of transactions is the highest city in the world. So how do you see the difference between the real estate market in Dubai and the UK?
So firstly, it's definitely transparency of data as a baseline. You don't have it in the UK, but the most important difference is definitely speed of transaction. In the UK, we're obviously dealing with a very different market with different types of properties, some of them from the 1800s. So there's much more intensive like conveyancing, making sure that the building is structurally sound, things like this. An average property sale in the UK can span from like 6 to 9 months because there's so many tiers of inspection. And that's why Dubai is also very unique in the sense that we have all the infrastructure now in place that makes each transaction so quick. And we are also leveraging those same models within Prop AI for the sense of being able to determine whether or not something does make sense and things like this.
Yes, and this
You've done that,
this difference of the process is one of the key differences of this market comparing to other parts of the world. Because the speed, if you buy a unit, if you sign a preliminary contract, or however it's called in UK, and you get the unit only after 6 or 9 months, the market can change completely.
Of course.
Here, yeah, it's insane. No, when it increases 12,
Yes.
13% year on year, you
Yes.
can expect in 6 months that
Yeah.
this has changed massively.
This is everywhere. Well, not everywhere. In my country, it's not that slow. It's
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I can make a transaction in 2 days if I really want to do that. And we actually have, like, here is trustees. In my country, we go to notarius for the transaction. So now we can do it online. We can have all the process online,
Ah, cool.
like here. So it's very interesting to see the differences because for me, Dubai is not that advanced from what I saw in my market. But my market had a very massive changes between 2013 when I joined real estate in Lithuania to 2020 or 2022 or 3. The market changed and the process became very seamless. And the longest transaction, it will be like a month, let's say,
wow.
to transfer
Okay.
the
That is
property.
pretty fast.
If you're not doing things, so if you have issues with banks getting mortgage, etc.
Makes sense.
But if you want to transfer
parties.
cash to cash, you can do it next day.
Ah, cool.
So it's very, very fast. But here the speed is even better.
I actually have another question because I think we touched upon the data part, but I think another big differentiation that we want, and I know it's not the same globally, but here in Dubai, was our positioning as buyer brokers, and the fact that we are stock agnostic, that we're happy to work with everyone, that we are openly seeking to work with other agents in the market, which is not very typical. How do you, being on the ground, one, have that experience? How does it feel? And two, was it difficult for you guys? Was it easy? Was it something that you were comfortable with at the beginning? And so on.
It's
Let's
very
say-
interesting.
Yeah, let's say the word that I would use.
To be honest, for myself, it was one of the driving factors that made me interested in Prop AI because typically in Dubai, you have a seller and a buyer, like with any deal around the world. Only working with a buyer means that you can go all in and advocate for exactly their needs. And that's something that is quite unique in Dubai, to be fair. where you don't have the conflict of interest of trying to get the best price for the seller as well as the best price for the buyer. Also gives me a lot more clarity and confidence that I'm doing the right thing for the single point of contact that I'm dealing with at the time. So personally for me, that's why one of the reasons also why I joined Prop AI, because that was pretty much what I was always looking for, is to not have to fight myself and to pick sides in terms of who's really my priority here. You don't have that. You have the
Who's
clarity.
paying you at the end of the
Yeah,
day?
true.
There's another thing. I was 10
But
years.
when he starts that conversation, because it's getting interesting.
Yeah. So for 10 years, I was in real estate in my country. And I had some requests to be a buyer agent, but I never felt that I'm adding value because people in my city, they know where they want to live, what do they want to get. So the best I can do is to save them some time or to negotiate the price better. Here, I see so much value being
The story is
buyer's agent because the seller can sell any day. There's no issues to sell things here. But to make the right purchase, it's quite a challenging task because we have massive marketing influence. We have a lot of ads. We have a lot of wrongfully presented information. We have a lot of technical issues in the process, even though the process itself is seamless, but there are stops in between, let's say, agents, some other additional fake obstacles that are being created.
I know Melanie has a lot of experiences with these guys. But I think you touched on a point that was very interesting when you said that in Lithuania or in the market is that they know exactly where they want to buy because those are people who are using for their own use.
And they usually live there forever.
They live there, but
And
whereas here...
My city is 600, 700,000 people.
Yeah.
So here we have 4 million people.
But also, majority of people are coming from abroad.
Yes,
your clients
exactly.
are from abroad.
And they don't really know. Most people that are not in real estate, even in real estate, they don't know many areas that could be perfect fit for their lifestyle.
I've been here for 13 years.
Yeah, and
Dubai has changed significantly. There are areas that popped up, and I go there. I remember you taking me to Shoba Heartland, and I'm like, what? This place exists? So I understand things move so fast.
Yeah, and even if you live here and you have your work, you spend all your time between work and family and your, let's say, social life or whatever you want to do, you're not that interested in which area is coming up. Yeah. We as buyer's agent, we learn every single day about new areas, about old areas, about what's happening in the sub-markets. Then all that information can be easily transferred to a single buyer if we ask right questions, and this is where we are good at. We can ask right questions, and we have tools to find correct information, and then we can proceed.
Actually, I want to ask you a question that is also, being a buyer broker often means that you are not focused on an area because you cannot specialize in an area by being a buyer broker. Is it difficult for you to be able to cover an entire the city, let's say?
That's I was saying means if you're a lazy broker, you will want to be an area specialist and
as a buyer broker, as a buyer broker. Okay.
But for me, as buyer broker, and you know a bit how is my personality, I'm someone who likes challenges, and even I would not like them. I attract challenges. So for me, it's a very good challenge to keep yourself updated. And of course, it takes time to get knowledge. And it takes time. You need to read. You need to see the new master plans. You need to, and Aurelius, he does it a lot, and Kaiser as well. And for me, being a buyer broker sometimes is kind of challenging. Why? Because there is a lot of information that I need to absorb in a very short period of time. But once again, I believe that it will be the future as well, because with AI, we will save more time. But I like it not because I'm a buyer broker. I like it because I'm deeply curious. of what's going on in the city. Because for me, we are living in a very interesting time in general. And I'm really enjoying to be part of a city that every day I see something coming up, something changing, and it's very, very joyful.
Yeah, I think we will have stories to tell our
Yes,
grandchildren.
I was
Sure.
thinking about that. In
But
20 years, I will say used to be there. There was nothing, and Palm came, and the new Marina came, and Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Before, I used to say it's far, and now it's so close. And like, for example, Hyperloop, in less than 100 years.
The boring company already started the work. Yes.
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 How is that going to change?
In the world,
entire
we're talking about it,
Yeah.
and Dubai will make it. It's the first.
Yeah.
It's so. For me, it's really interesting, and actually, I like my city. So when you like something, you don't do it because you have to do it. You do it because you like to do it, and it's and same as I was explaining yesterday. A buyer, he told me, "How are you so happy? You wake up every day like this?" And I told him, "You know, when you like your job, and it's not something that you're doing because." You need to wake up when you like what you do, and the results are just the consequences of something you like to do it. It shows, and it's like, of course, you're happy.
Actually, to build on this, I know we're very, very short on time. I want to ask you guys to tell me one word of why, like, what gives you energy to come, because it's a very tough job, the job that you do. So what is the one word, what gives you energy in the morning in order to wake up and actually get that job done? One word from each.
One word.
You can say
Future.
sentence.
Future.
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 Yes.
Future.
I'm curious about what will happen next.
I will say the same, and for me, challenge gives me an adrenaline in the body that I cannot explain. Some people have it, some people don't have it. Me, it's like a fuel for me.
For me, it's probably the word creative, because I think being a buyer broker specifically and dealing with so many different requests, you go on the journey with that person and you really have to think outside the box to find them what they want and open your own mind up to things that maybe don't make sense on the surface, and you have to dig deep, and it all matches at the end of the day. So definitely creative for me.
And it's a job that you
yeah.
learn a lot about
Exactly.
yourself.
Every
Sure.
time it's like a puzzle.
Yeah, it's
You're putting a puzzle with different pieces, and even it seems the result is the same, you might come to it from very, very different backgrounds.
so many variables to play around with, and that's actually how you get to the end point.
Yeah,
It's-
and sometimes
that's where the
what
magic is.
actually, in most times, one purchase doesn't make sense to another person.
Yeah.
Even
Mhm.
I'm coming for a one bedroom, it's not enough information.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Are you looking for yourself? Are you investing? What's your period? What's your payment timeline?
Mhm.
What's your holding expectation? How do you want to use it? Where? There are so many questions
Is it
that
your
needs
first
to be
investment or no?
asked. Yeah, and this is very interesting, and I think this is very good blend of social and technical life.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely need soft skills and hard skills.
Yes.
Like it's not like just you don't need to be a good you have to be a good salesperson for sure, but like just being a good salesperson does not
It's not it.
does not do it. Does not.
There are plenty of good salespeople in the market,
Yes.
but they are just good salespeople. We are a little bit different, and we look to the transaction differently.
No, that is for sure. And I think this was a lot of fun, guys.
So
I'll leave it to
thank you,
Mel, please.
guys. It was our PropAI podcast with our co-founder and CEO Ranime Elskaf. I hope you learn a bit more about who we are, what is our vision, what is our values, and a bit about our stories. And I hope you enjoy it. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank